Welcome back. The race for City Hall is heating up, an issue that's sure to play a major part in this year's election, and that is Stop and Frisk. The NYPD's controversial policing tactic is now literally on trial, and candidates are staking out their positions on the issue. Bill Thompson's restrained approach when it comes to Stop and Frisk has surprised many, especially since he is the only African American in the race. On Wednesday, that approach paid off big when a coalition of unions representing thousands of city law enforcement officials voted to endorse his campaign. In the meantime, the Reverend Al Sharpton has reportedly let Thompson know that he's less than pleased with his views on policing. Okay, O'Brien, let me turn to you before we get Andrew's take on this. Sharpton giving Thompson notice on Stop and Frisk, a good thing overall or a bad one?
I think for Thompson, it actually is net positive because it shows he's not catering to one community over another, and he's willing to be the mayor of all of New York at one point. I am kind of surprised it took Al Sharpton this long to get in the middle of the mayor's race. I think he probably misses that sitting in his perch right now on a national televised TV show. But I think he's given him a chance to talk about it, and Thompson can discuss it, put it out there, answer it, move on. But Sharpton's just looking for the limelight, I think.
Mr. Whitman?
Well, you've said for quite some time, Thompson, one of his strengths is that he would seem to have the black vote in the city lined up and black organizations in the city lined up. So Stop and Frisk is an issue that maybe he hasn't had to take the position he otherwise might have had to on, assuming that he was going to have that vote locked up. I think Sharpton's sort of giving him the warning that you may not be as comfortable with the lion's share of the black vote as you think you might be. I mean, you're in a better position to inform on that. Do you think there's a chance that the black vote in the city would splinter over Stop and Frisk?
Absolutely not. The African American vote at the end of the day is going to go 80 to 90% to Bill Thompson. But I mean, I'm just curious.
I have a slight disagreement on that. I was talking to somebody that used to work at the city council, ran into him last week on something, black gentleman from New York City, and he was saying he can't take it for granted. He was saying that Lou is making many inroads into the African American community.
And Lou got the endorsement of DC 37.
And he's also on black radio quite a bit, doing ads every morning, from what I understand. So Lou's trying to cut into there to try to figure out how he can build up a base and tear apart Thompson a bit on that. Don't forget, though, one other thing, too.
Come on, guys.
In yesterday's...
At the end of the day, do you really think, both of you in the little time we have left in this segment, do you really think the African-American vote would go with Lou over Bill Thompson?
How many of them are going to know that he is black? Will he do enough mailings? Will he do enough mailings?
They already know he's African-American.
If you look at the Ray Kelly poll yesterday, there's still a lot of undecided in that race, head-to-head. And so when you look at that race overall, that one too, in that Ray Kelly poll, it showed Quinn and Thompson, the general election, had the same amount. They were both within a point of Kelly difference.
To me, the question is how important of an issue is Stop and Frisk, particularly in the city's black community? I haven't seen any polling that indicates that, and it's not a driving issue. I mean, it's not the biggest driving issue in the election, at least according to the overall polling that I've seen so far.
And that's exactly it. I mean, will they vote based upon what they believe in Stop and Frisk, or will they vote in the fact that the city is safer than it was? Will they vote in the fact that crime rate is down?
We've got a hard 30 seconds left here. The clock is winding down on whether or not Police Commissioner Ray Kelly is going to run. I say no way, no how. Do you see any scenario where at this 11th hour, Ray Kelly decides to get in? When you got good candidates like Loda and Casamatini standing by?
Would be great candidates against him, no question about it. The challenge for anybody right now in the Republican Party is name ID and having some sort of base to start from. I think Ray starts with a bigger base, which is what would let him do that if he wanted to.
Quickly.
I'm waiting for the Wiener-Kelly hybrid ticket. That's everybody getting in late will be together. No, I think it's too late.
Well, on that note, it is time for a break. Coming up next, what is going on with Rutgers? A new scandal has many asking if it's time for the new athletic director to go. That's next. Stay with us.